Hey all! Today we are recording from my bed again because the weather is so bad. I had just set up everything to record outside, but unfortunately it just started raining and the wind is crazy. And as you can see with my outfit, we are back to winter. Last week I put all my winter clothes away because it was so hot. We had like 25 degrees and I didn't think I need them anymore, but now we have big storms coming up. There's fresh snow on the mountain, and it is cold again. So that's why the first thing I wanted to show you today is something I whipped up quickly yesterday. This is a hot water bottle cover that I'm actually cuddling with right now, but I actually made it for my friends that are arriving today. So I have to film all the things today because most of the things I show you will be gifted in this evening. And I think they are not prepared that this extreme cold came back. They're just arriving today. So I made them a little hot water bottle with cover so they will not freeze too much. And this is made in some handspun yarn, like some of my first handspuns. And using your first handspuns that are not 100% even is perfect for a hot water bottle because little inconsistencies are not so important. And I held two strands of yarn together, as you can see. It has this nice marling effect and it evens out some of the inconsistencies as well. So I think it was a good project to use up some of my first handspuns in a nice project that will have a good use. And also the yarn is not so soft, so for a hot water bottle it doesn't matter so much, but I wouldn't want to wear it on my skin maybe. I don't know. Think it's not that bad. I'm not super sensitive, but other people are. But for this, it's a perfect use for it. On our way to Dharamsala, me and my friend Anne took a taxi to go back because that's the only feasible option. With local buses, it just takes forever and you have to change buses a lot. So this was a much quicker option and Anna only had a few days. So we wanted to make it most time effective. And while stopping for food, we found these beautiful little goats. So I made a little video of them. So you can enjoy the cute road goats on India's roads. And then for our lunch break, we stopped at this tea plantation. And there's a beautiful traditional restaurant. And we are just waiting for the food. And you see they make himachali fruits that they serve on leaves, and you get like 8 different kinds of things that you can eat over the course of the meal, and it's really delicious. And Anna enjoyed it a lot. As soon as I made it home, someone was really excited to see me because I was gone for 2 months. And for some reason, this dog really likes me. And he was really happy that I'm back, and he's still really happy that I'm back. I think you most likely see him in a lot of my videos. He always loves to hang out in my room, and you see he was like so happy to get attention again. Like, Indian people love him, don't get me wrong, his real owners love him a lot, but they give a different level of attention, and this dog can never have enough cuddles. And after not seeing me for 2 months, he was quite happy. So the other thing you will see in this video is some of the footage I took when my friend Anne came to visit from Germany. And we did some adventurous things. You will, for example, see our visit in the Tibetan carpet company, how they hand weave the traditional carpets. And we went to the waterfall. We saw lots of goats, like small snippets like this will be seen between the finished objects. So, who's visiting me is my friends from South India that you saw in previous videos, the little girl Rosa. And because she is so knitworthy, I made some little projects for her, including this little chicken. This is a chicken made out of 2 granny squares. I saw this on YouTube. And you just crochet 2 granny squares. And then you attach them to each other in a triangle form. Like you sew up 3 sides and then you fold the 4th side to get the back. And then you just attach your little feathers at the tail and the little crown and the beak. I added some safety eyes and made this cute little chicken. This was a project of maybe 3 hours. It was super quick. And it is actually filled with all my yarn ends that I had laying around. You know, all the last snippets, so I collected them, and this is what this chicken is filled with. And this beautiful yarn is from Yarn Amour by Harini. This is an Indian dyer, and she makes really beautiful colors, and I used up some of the small bits and bobs that I had left from other projects. Like this green I made a t-shirt of, and I had like a small skein left, so I used some of it in this cute little chicken. And I'm also working on a whip with a yarn from the same hand dyer. And let me show you. Let me see. This is the correct way. So I am knitting the Glittering Snowscapes shawl by Stephen West. So I have 2 friends in Germany and we choose to knit this project together. And it's also yarn from Yarn Amour by Harini, and she dyed a beautiful fade in blue tones. So you see color 1 and color 2. So this will be a long-term project. There's no hurry to finish it. This is, by the way, 100% cotton yarn, and it's a nice mercerized cotton that is soft. So this will be more a summer shawl, and it will probably become big. Like, this is just the first color and it's kind of big already. And what I like about the shawl and why I choose it, it has like beautifully repeating patterns. It's not like super boring. It's not just a garter stitch shawl, but a lot of them are easy to memorize. So you don't have to look at the chart every single row. While obviously for the sections that I'm on right now, it's a bit more complicated, so I have to look more often. But also now the rows are really long, so I have to look every second row to see what this kind of lace pattern needs. But the other patterns, like the waffle stitch, you see it's an easy repeat. So it's an interesting project with a lot of repetition, and I really enjoy it. And at some point in the future, you will see the full shawl with all 5 colors that Harini has dyed up for me. Now you see our visit to the carpet factory. Well, factory is a big word. You see it's a quite small place. So this is a place where the Tibetan people make traditional carpets. It seems to be the only one in Dharamsala, and it's also the oldest one in India. And you will see all the different beautiful designs of some finished carpets now. And then you will see some detailed recordings of the weaving of the carpets. This is how the traditional carpets look in the end. And they are a lot of work and they are not cheap. But in Tibetan culture, they are used traditionally, obviously, in their yurts, like in their tents, for the nomadic lifestyle, to literally sleep on, live on, and so on. But nowadays, you find them in all the monasteries, people have them at their homes. They are keeping you warm when you sit on them. A lot of people have them like on their sitting arrangements. It's like often like wooden boxes, and then you have the carpets on top of it to make it a bit more soft and warm to keep the cold out. So here you see all the traditional processing of the carpets. As you see on the upper side, you see the charts. It's like a bit like color knitting charts. So they have detailed charts for all the patterning, how many stitches they have to do in which color. And you see there's like the big carpet where the 3 ladies work on together, and the smaller carpets where other women work on one project alone, and it's a lot of work to make a carpet like this. You can see in this video how long it takes to just make one row and how many steps are involved. But at least they don't have to do it on backstrap looms. They have these beautiful big looms here, and it's a beautiful scene that they make. These wools come from the local area. This is 100% Indian sheep wool that is dyed in many different colors, and it's quite a rough wool. It's not like a super soft wool. I was thinking before about getting it, but then the roughness is like quite tough because it's traditional carpet wool, so not so nice for making garments, and I don't have plans to make my own carpet. So here you see the detailed process of the carpet making, and I cannot explain you all the steps what they mean. I have learned a bit of weaving in Ladakh this summer, but it's quite different in the size, so I don't know. I'm not an expert in how to call the different techniques, but I thought I still share the video with you, and you might enjoy the handicrafts of the Tibetan ladies making these beautiful carpets. As you can see and maybe hear, I'm trying out a new microphone today and also a tripod. So I actually got it for our NGO work to record some videos, but I'm trying it out for this little vlogs. And let's see how it works. It's the first time I use the clip-on microphone. So if you have any complaints about the sound quality, let me know. So now I want to show you my favorite project that I finished for my friend Rosa. And this is this beautiful little sweater here. Might be hard to show it. This is the mini unbearable hoodie by Maxim Cyr from Les Garçons. You might know them. And you see it's a beautiful color work pattern. And it's a hood. You could add little bear ears to the hood, but I want to ask Rosa if she wants the bear ears or not. So this is a pattern I knit before for a friend's child, but this is like 5 years ago at least. And then I knit it in the smallest size, and my friend accidentally shrunk it after 1 week because her husband put it in the washing machine too hot. And then it was a baby size and not toddler size anymore. So now I knitted it a second time, and I hope it will fit my friend. And It is made with, so the pattern is written for DK weight yarn, but I've actually used some sport weight yarn, and I think you can switch the gauge around, no problem. My color work cinched in a little bit. So next time, I forgot about it. It's just better to size up the needle size for color work. You see it a bit here. Like, it's not a serious issue, but it's not as stretchy as the rest of the pattern. That's why I'm not 100% sure it will fit, but I think it should still be fine. But yeah, next time I will just go up a needle size for the color work. And these are yarns that I inherited. I just know it's a 100% merino sport weight yarn, but I don't know who made this yarn because the labels that were on it were handwritten by my mom. And yeah, I think it turned out really cute, and I hope she will like it. And I would totally knit this pattern again. It's a fun pattern, and I crocheted the drawstring because I wasn't in the mood to make a long I-cord, because I-cords take forever, and this little crocheting drawstrings are much quicker, and I think they more or less have the same effect, and they're easy to make. I just crocheted a row of change, and then I slip stitch the row back, and it's a perfect size to be a drawstring, and it takes so much less time than an I-cord. Don't get me wrong, an I-cord is beautiful, but it just takes forever, and it's for a children's project, so no one knows she might lose this drawstring in a week anyways, because it's children. So I didn't want to put many hours more into doing a drawstring. I think overall it turned out beautifully, and if it fits her, I might be able to add pictures in the future. But this is the main project that I was working on in the last week. I also introduced my friend Anne to the Tibetan things around here. And I didn't take videos of everything, but this is us walking around Socorro. And there is a voice on this video, but it's all in German to explain it to someone. So now I'm re-recording an English version. First you saw the prayer stones, where the mantras are carved in the stones. And now we are coming up to the prayer wheels. Now you will see my friend Anne. She learns how to turn the wheels. And these wheels are filled with mantras that will work their effect while you turn the wheel. So there's like many little written mantras in all these wheels, and it's thousands of them. And when you turn them, their effect, the merit they create, will be accumulated for you. And we're just walking along, and she's seeing the different parts of the Koa. And this is a walk you do around the Dalai Lama temple. And it's also a nice walk in nature. It's often full of monkeys and cows and dogs, and it's just a beautiful little thing you can do when you have some time left to enjoy the nature and enjoy the surroundings, be outside a bit, and at the same time create some merit for yourself. So there's nothing that you can lose while walking a Kora, and especially if the weather is nice. You see the bear warnings, because there's bears here, and sometimes people get even attacked there at the Kora. And yeah, this is what some people do every day. I don't do it that often, but if I have time, I go there and enjoy it. Yesterday, I got gifted this beautiful new little cup, and it also has a lid to keep my tea hot. Because it is so cold, I need to stay warm inside and outside. And this is some Turkish apple tea. And I love this new cup. I got it from a nun. So this is a really lovely gift. And what I wanted to show you in this clip is actually this hat I made. This is also for Rosa. You see on the color, this is not a color I would usually wear. I am not a pink or rosé or anything person like this, but Rosa's favorite color, surprisingly, is pink, and rosa, the German word for rosé color. So I had this like 200-gram ball, 200-meter ball, 50 grams laying around. This is the Emotions yarn, and it's not continued. So I got it in a sale, and the ball was like, I think, €2, and it's really beautiful and really soft because it contains even some cashmere in the ball of yarn. And this pattern is a project that I'm working on with my friend Vanessa. This will be a pattern for a good cause that we are working on. So I want to support some monks project, and we had this idea to maybe write a pattern to give it with donations to people. So Vanessa, like we were looking up ideas what we can do, and first on we decided to use a fingering weight yarn like sock yarn style, like around 400 meters per 100 gram. So it is available in every country quite easily. It's not something that is hard to find, and you don't need to use a specific brand or something complicated or expensive. You can use a really special yarn, you can use a really simple sock yarn, whatever you want. So this was the first consideration for this pattern. And then we needed a pattern that is simple but not too boring. Like an easy stockinette head, there's like so many patterns like this already. So that's not what we wanted to do. But as this is a pattern that is supporting a monastic project, we wanted it to make it in a style that a monastic could actually wear this hat. So the set was supposed to be simple enough that it's not like too creating too much attention. So it's beautiful and simple, but still not boring to knit. So we choose this special kind of cable. This was called a French braid, and I knit it completely without cable needles. And I think it has a really beautiful effect. And this is the crown decreases. I think it worked out quite well. And I did the first test knit version, and now we are working on the pattern again. There are some changes that weren't considered properly. Like after I blocked this, it got longer. This is supposed to be a fitting head, and you see there's a lot of extra. And this is a children adult small size, so I can really like push it over. Like it's not an issue, but we wanted to have a really fitting head and not a bit of a beanie style. Like obviously everyone can always make it longer to have a beanie style, but for the monastics, a fitted head is more what they're supposed to wear. So we will change the numbers a bit and the amount of rows to keep it more fitting. So we are working on little details like this, and then we will knit it again, knit it in different sizes, and see how much yarn is used. So this adult small size didn't even use up the full ball of 200 meters, 50 gram of fingering weight. And as you saw in the sweater I just showed you, I used some of the leftovers for the colorwork flowers. It's the same. It's going to the same person, so I thought it's a nice combination that she has the same color in the sweater and in her new hat. So I hope she will like it. But now there's still a bit left, so I could at least do another flower repeat. So there you see that this hat doesn't use so much wool, and even the size L, like the adult L, worked with just 200 meters of fingering weight yarn. So it's nice to have a hat that doesn't use up too much wool, so it's easily accessible for people, and you can easily use up leftovers as well. So I will explain you more about the project that this is going to when the whole thing is finished, and then when the pattern is written, I will show it to you and introduce the project properly. But this is the progress that we are on right now. And when we have more time and the pattern is fixed, we will knit more sizes and maybe also ask some of our friends to help us test knit this. And yeah, then hopefully this will be a good pattern to get some money support for this organization of this monk I know. we also decided to go to nature a little bit, and we again found some goats. This down there is supposedly part of the waterfall, the river that comes from the waterfall. And as you can see, it's pretty empty, but you see it's full of cute little goats. And they are exploring the area. You see I'm knitting on my Elton cardigan there. Now I'm much further along with it. This is before I split for the sleeves. And yeah, these goats are living there. The shepherds bring them
Ja, komm
around.
ruhig jetzt,
They're
Ziege.
often also behind my house, and I'm always excited to
Würde
see
wahrscheinlich
cute little
überhaupt nicht mehr
goats.
hier so schnuppern oder so.
And they are having fun. They are climbing around. There's many of them, different herds, and unfortunately the wool is really coarse, and I was also not able to get any so far. I wanted to experiment with spinning it, but yeah, somehow the people don't understand what I want from them. And they also say the wool is not soft, so you don't need it. But anyways, the goats are really sweet. And yeah, what I wanted to say is there's not much water in the waterfall right now, because you see the effects of mass tourism here as well. As you see, people use the water from the waterfall to fill pools or also to lead it to the hotels. There's lots of pipes going out of the waterfall to be used by all the tourists, but unfortunately there's nearly no water left in the waterfall right now, and I think in the long term this will have really bad ecological effects. But yeah, it's hard to explain this to people. But the goats are having fun, and actually the only video I took this time of the waterfall is in the different format. It's not horizontal, but you see how little water is in there right now. And when you go lower, there's even less water because all the pipes are lower than this. Not all of them, but some of them. But it's still beautiful to sit in nature. Last thing I want to show you today are hand spun yarns that I finished. I do have more finished objects, but they are more hot weather projects. And I'm hoping that the sun is coming back next week. Like for this week, the weather forecast looks bad with lots of rain. But I rather want to make videos and pictures of the other projects when it's nice outside. So today the last thing will be my hand spun yarns. And the first one you have seen in the process already in the last video is my Icelandic yarn. So this is half of it spun up, and it turned out really beautiful. I'm even surprised by it because spinning it was a bit complicated, and I had the feeling it was way overspun, and even after applying it, it felt a bit overplied. But when I didn't spin it that much, it broke so easily. So I had to spin it more tightly. But then I was worried that I will get unusable overspun yarn. But you see now, after it is washed and dried, it looks quite beautiful. It's not like crinkling up a lot. It's kind of even. And I have a nice kind of thick yarn, exactly how I wanted it. I'm not 100% sure what to make with it. There's also another 100 grams that I'm spinning up right now. Half of it is on the bobbin already, and not sure what to make with it. Maybe a shawl. I was thinking about a triangular shawl, but I have to figure out how much of it I actually have. But as this handspun shawl, I saw it's really nice to work up my handspuns in big triangular shawls. This is not so soft. The Icelandic yarn is not so soft, but it's keeping you quite warm and giving you a lot of like space. So I will probably do another triangle shawl, but let's see. I was also thinking about a hat because Icelandic yarn is supposed to be water repellent a bit, but it's actually like not really snowing and raining so much in the winter here. So it's more raining in the summer when I usually don't wear hats. And also, as you see, I have a hat in this kind of color already, but I don't have a shawl, and especially not a big triangle shawl in this color. I have a light green shawl, but it's quite different. It doesn't fit so well, but I think these colors would go well together. So maybe I make a fitting shawl for this. But maybe I also do slippers or something. Let's see. Anyways, the yarn turned out beautifully. And the other yarn I spun is this one. This is a yarn by Sunrays Creation, another hentai here in India. Both of them actually live in Bangalore. And this is a mix of silk and Indian sheep wool. And I don't know in which relation, and she doesn't even have the space anymore. And I got it at the beginning when I just learned spinning on hand spindles. But this was not the easiest beginner yarn because it was quite compacted and it was not so easy to draw out. But now that I'm a bit more experienced and I have a spinning wheel and I learned the advantage of pre-drafting and dissing a yarn, I made this really, really beautiful fiber. It has more or less the same thickness than the Icelandic yarn has, and it has many different colors. It turned out beautifully. And again, I have no idea what I want to do with it, but it is a beautiful project in and of itself. It's also not the softest yarn, even though it contains some silk, but it was an interesting experience to spin with the silk because it is quite different to draw it, and it has a way longer staple length than a lot of yarns I spun before. So this is probably the yarn with the longest staple length I spun now. So also like learning to hold the yarn in a bigger distance to draw it out made such a difference on how to use this yarn. And I'm really happy with the result, and I will find a beautiful use for it. And these are my finished spinning projects for this week, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I see you again soon.